Oklahoma's defense creates challenge for college football playoff committee. Stillwater, Oklahoma, the quarterback was sitting on the floor in a narrow quarter, eating a plate of post-game barbecue, when the defensive coordinator happened by. Mike Stoops stopped and fist-bumped Baker Mayfield. "I told you," he said, "we'd get a couple of stops. But only a couple." In a 62-52 victory over rival Oklahoma State that lived up to its Bedlam nickname, Mayfield and Oklahoma's offense was very near unstoppable and looked every bit like a unit capable of putting up points, a whole lot of points, on anyone. But they had to be, because Oklahoma's defense played every bit like a unit capable of giving up points, a whole lot of points, to anyone. The Sooners will remain no worse than number 5 in this week's updated college football playoff top 25, and they might well move into the top 4. But the offensive-defensive dichotomy poses a bit of a dilemma for the selection committee. The Sooners piled up 785 yards in another road win against a ranked opponent, but they gave up 661 yards and 52 points. In the second quarter, when the teams combined for 52 points, it was like watching a tennis match, only it wasn't so much a sustained rally, but as if the teams were trading smashed aces. Misery Index, Urban Meyer. Ohio State face another underachieving season. Winners and losers, the highs and lows from college football's Week 10 playoff implications. Oklahoma makes case, while Ohio State's case closed. What to make of it all? Last Tuesday night, Kirby Hockett, the selection committee's chair, noted, "We talked about the offensive strength that Oklahoma has, but the selection committee has that same question about Oklahoma's play on the defensive side of the ball." After the shootout, there's good reason for both impressions to be magnified. "I really don't care," said Lincoln Riley, the Sooners' first-year coach. "We won. We're not perfect. I'm not saying we are. We've got a lot of things to get better at. But we're good at winning. There's no arguing that. But are they good enough defensively to keep winning? And how would it translate in the playoff?" Mayfield insisted Bedlam wasn't just a Big 12 shootout, but two of the best teams in college football, and he might be right. For certain, it was two of the best offenses. Maybe the two best. But in the post-game interviews, it was clear the Sooners could already hear the snickers. Remember that 66-59 score-tacular against Texas Tech last season? It's just the Big 12, where defense is optional or non-existent. Stoops has been trying to keep up with Big 12 offenses, with varied results, for long enough that he jokes, because really, other than pounding the glass windows in the coach's box and screaming, "What else can you do?" that he's lost 15 to 20 pounds. During a late replay review, Oklahoma had intercepted Mason Rudolph, but officials were reviewing whether targeting had occurred before the interception. Stoops said he laid his head on the desk and prayed. He described Oklahoma's defensive coverage Saturday as porous, which was accurate. The Sooners' secondary, especially, is a season-long mess. And Saturday, Stoops employed umbrella coverages, often dropping 8 into various zones, to try to help the defensive backs. But that left plenty of lanes for Oklahoma State's Justice Hill to run. He finished with 228 yards on 30 carries. Let's be clear, Oklahoma's defense is not good. The Sooners rank 75th and 87th nationally in scoring in total defense, allowing averages of 28.2 points and 413.1 yards, respectively. But Stoops has an alternate theory. It might not be nearly as bad as the Big 12 can make it look. Trying to take away everything from these offenses is almost impossible, Stoops said. They're so good. When it comes to the Big 12, what makes it different is the offenses. Yes, there are defensive deficiencies, no doubt. But how much of that is magnified by the threat level, week in and week out, of those offenses? Stoops' contention, at least partly, is that the stats are skewed because Big 12 defenses are stretched until they break in ways that their counterparts in many other conferences don't face. There is currently no other conference where as many dangerous offenses lurk. Which is why the conference's upper tier, let's call it Oklahoma, TCU and Oklahoma State, can be endangered when a mid-tier team gets hot. That's not currently the case in, say, the sect, where the muddy middle does not feature an offense that scares anyone. They put you in such binds, Stoops said.